opening up here in the year 2020. And as is popular across social media at present, showing a picture of yourself here, today, and how you look some 10 years ago is the done thing. And for me, I've added more than a few pounds for sure, yet surprisingly, in the face, apparently I look a little younger. So casting back some 10 years ago, well, maybe not, maybe closer to 9. In the closing months of 2010, I penned a feature article for publication in Beyond the Line that was later published in the exceptionally wintry month of February 2011. So Beyond the Line was a paranormal-themed online zine in the form of a downloadable PDF. Beyond the Line, for me, was a creative outlet. It allowed me to progress and develop my design and my writing, and also allowed me to explore the content I was interested in, and the information and the conversations that I was having. So through the medium of a digital magazine, it also allowed it to be an online journal of sorts. Features, interviews, opinions, and it was also helped me develop my curiosity of the weird and the wonderful. The article I had penned was called Inanimate Hauntings, and now with a decade of reflection, I thought it would be an interesting visit to bring here to the world of my podcast and here on YouTube, sprinkling in a little more flavour and adding a bit more meat to the bones and expanding on that original article and bringing it to a wider audience. Ghosts, some say, are the souls stuck here on the earth plane of existence. Those who come here with a message, perhaps a warning. Some just want to say goodbye, others are wanting to cause mischief. But what about inanimate objects? What do we mean by inanimate ghosts? These can be possessions such as clothing, jewellery, cars, and even trains. If the spirits of our deceased do indeed come to us, as many claim they do, why do their clothes appear? The clothes are simply garments worn by the individual, not part of some actual living essence of the person. If we say spontaneous phenomena occurs in the form of apparitions, the clothing really should not appear. It should just be the naked body of a person, the spiritual form of an individual who's making themselves apparent. So I posed this question to a medium, bear in mind, of course I wrote this in 2010, whom we shall call Joe. Now Joe's reply was this: our loved ones come to us in the form that is comforting to us. To agree with this statement, one realises there are a number of interconnecting questions that require further contemplation and insight. Alleged ghostly individuals that are not related or linked emotionally to the person they appear to, they would have no need to appear in a comforting way, because the shame and the taboo of a naked, uncovered body is that of a very earthly one too. So let me roll your mind back into kind of the historical Fortean archive. So the famous Harry Martindale encounter is a prime example, well reported, for 1953. So apprentice plumber Harry Martindale, aged 18 at the time, working in the Treasurer's House in York in the north of England, was installing central heating in the basement. Now first he heard a horn, before a man marched through the wall, followed by another and another, a man mounted on a horse, each clad in Roman armour, tunics, swords, spears, rounded shields. Dozens of battle-worn soldiers appearing very solid, yet not appearing to notice him, or seemingly the building that is they're walking through, marching through the cellar floor, up to the level of their knees. They were walking through the floor, then to disappear. Now years later, the discovery of a Roman road that formerly ran through the very space just happened to be a foot lower than the base of the cellar. The soldiers were walking at the right height of the road in their time. So the ghostly apparition here is prime, because you have not only perceived sounds, but you also have the soldiers marching on the floor, the clanking of equipment. Physically, the soldiers are wearing and carrying their weapons. Their tunics are moving around. The horse is saddled up. These are things that are inanimate. So let us take perhaps a leap of faith. If we go with that once we depart our physical body, that something akin to transcendence occurs. Our spirit guides are claimed to come to us after death, to tell us how it all works in the afterlife. You would think they may nudge us to say that, well, you've died. You don't really need to wear clothes now. And oddly enough, there's actually an account of this occurring. In the book, The Life in the World Unseen, Monsignor Hugh Robert Benson, the former Archbishop of Canterbury, communicates to a clairaudient medium, Anthony Borgia, relaying his journal of his journey in the spirit world. The guide who greets them points out that clothes simply aren't necessary. As Monsignor and his fellow companion, who is with him on the spirit world, realise that they are wearing what they died in, the clothing suddenly melts away and is replaced with a wonderful and bright cloth of dazzling colour and light, and as does their reliance on walking on the ground for movement, as movement in the spirit world is alleged to be achieved by mere thought. Wild West stagecoaches, locomotives are often sighted inanimate ghosts.
Heck, my grandma used to spin yarns about a spectral locomotive that would rocket past the farm where she grew up.
Closer to home, Nottingham locations such as Papplewick Lane, where a stagecoach with horses is reputed to follow and chase vehicles from the beyond T-junction from Moor Road bound for the direction of Hucknall. But what about ghost cars? Haunted vehicles that appear and disappear at the spot where an accident is alleged to have occurred. There are many ghost car hauntings on lonely and eerie stretches of roads across the English countryside, and truth is, across the world. But cars of different ages from classic to modern. An eyewitness I spoke to a number of years ago gave us information of a strange encounter that happened in the November of 1991 when he was driving late down the A60, already a notorious location for phantom hitchhikers, of course, the famous Bessie Shepherdstone. That a car, he said, was a Ford Capri, was in the lane next to him on the right, and the driver began to drive erratically and swerved sharply left in front of him. The driver applied the brakes to avoid the collision, only for the car literally to disappear. Haunted dolls for sale. A relatively recent addition, one could say, to the paranormal economy. Haunted objects being sold and traded, dolls being the favourite attachment, online auction sites being the distribution network. Now, cannot be sure if the buyers are expecting child's play like Chucky and results, having a possessed doll hunt you around your own home, or whether it gives them the warm fuzzy feeling that they are somehow containing or looking after a pet in the form of a spirit inside a vessel. So let's just look at a couple of these examples. I have Robert the Doll and the resident celebrity doll at the East Martello Museum in Florida, and there's of course Martha at the Haunted Museum in Nottingham. So I've always wondered why a free-roaming spirit would be happy to be trapped inside a figure. That's dubious at best. But let's go to eBay. You have to check this out. So here we are. Let's check out the world's most famous auction site, and that is eBay. And in terms of inanimate hauntings, let's type in haunted dolls. In fact, they have their own listing as a separate section on eBay now. Came looking on here the other day. There's new ones here. So, haunted doll Catherine, paranormal positive energy, positive haunted doll, paranormal positive energy, Jolie, Katie, haunted doll negative, Tyne. Genuinely haunted doll Courtney, Emery, mysterious haunted doll. Let's check out a mysterious haunted doll, shall we? Who's the buyer? It's Winnie Wicked Wares, and we'll have a look at her in a second. Basic stuff, there's some pictures of it. Quite a pretty doll, actually. Let's have a look down here at the description. Emery was given to us a while back at the Paranormal Gathering in Loch Ness. Gee, what a surprise. Emery's past is a mystery. She is Ouija board and pendulum active. She is very articulate, but tends to lie a lot. Okay, what she actually speaks? So, she has contradicted herself many times. She once told us she was born in 1902, but then changed it to 1876. We feel she may be an imposter, or perhaps is in denial about her past. She is very devious. Her previous owners want to have a new home. Her origins indicate French or German pastor. According to our team psychic, when she held Emery, she felt a heavy burden upon the chest. So many secrets overlapping, so many lies. The psychic warned us she has a very dark past. Okay. Any other ones? So, in fact, these look like they've got the same kind of background here. This kind of inverted pentagram. I guess for their dramatic effect. Cleo, negative doll. £21. So the average price is like, what, about 20 quid? For, perhaps, in my opinion, a doll that's been bought as a maybe a bulk purchase or been bought on a car boot. I don't know. I'm assuming that. because that is a really interesting way to sell a story attached to a doll. So we found Cleo in a small charity shop in Newcastle. Her energy is so strong when I first picked up, and she is spirit box active. We are able to transcribe the following words. Cleo watched hit us. Mother came back. There's a cynical negative energy with Cleo. We feel Cleo was given to an abusive childhood and somehow fell unworthy individuals. There's a hostility when talking about her mother. She is trouble. She's the owner who can put on with negative energy around the home. That is to say that she will not try and harm you, or try to antagonize you. Oh, disclaimer, please note, these paranormal items and experiences are subjective and personal to me. The activity experienced by the buyer may be attributed to the individual's spiritual needs and may not express the specific above activity and may be subject to change. I guess what that means there is, if the spooky things don't happen to you, it's not our fault. These spirits take time to settle into their new homes, of course. And the vessels might not act out straight away. Or if it doesn't do what it says on the tin, no refunds. Let's just check out this seller then. Haunted doll Rosie, sorry. Look, the same kind of weird kind of fonting. So it's paranormal with a small p, then it's positive energy. It's an emphasis on the p positive. They are obviously using a template for this. So let's see what Any Wicked Wares is all about. I'm assuming that's 521 positive, 2 negative reviews, has 30 items for sale. And I'm betting that's the only kind of thing she sells. Yeah, of course it is. They're all haunted dolls. This is quite the money spinner. You can buy bulk dolls online. You import them wherever. Actually, talking of bulk, every one of those is the same art style. That is most likely a bulk purchase of that kind of doll. They bought cheap online, like imported China, Philippines, whatever, and then sold on. And because you sell the story, right? The story is the thing that you buy. No idea. But there's another one, a inanimate object that has been sold online. That is the dybbuk box. So it actually has its own section under the religion on here. I do firmly believe this same kind of thing is happening. People, in my opinion, are just buying them and slapping a bit of wax on them and selling them as if there's a story attached to it. It doesn't have to be. Or if there's a ghost inside there or a spirit inside there, why would it be stuck inside the box? It's a fucking spirit. It can go wherever it wants to. Let's just check on this. Made of wood, sealed with holy wax, don't open. So, you're buying something that you are told you can't open and shouldn't open. Doesn't work. You don't know. Let's have a look. This is originally from Germany. Danger, this is not a toy. Found in a ruined churchyard. It has been safe for many moons. This is a dark history, not to be joked, not to be disrespected at any time. My bad. By your own risk, do not open under any circumstances. No returns can be accepted. Okay. Let's. I'm curious. What else does this guy sell? JDF. That sounds like a weird profile name. Oh, that's the look. It's the only thing they sell. They have 11 items for sale, and they're all these dybbuk boxes. Now, I'm no expert, but that looks like the same kind of tint and colour of wax. You know what I mean? That always like the same kind of white. Look, flogging 120 quid, 86 quid, 56 quid, 75 quid. Haunted inanimate objects. I think there's a ring here. As in like there could be a scam going on. Not saying there is, but the potential is most definitely there that you can buy bulk dolls, bulk boxes. You buy them cheap. You slap a bit of wax on them. You attach a story. Hey, there's 62 people watching this one. Real red tint, very active. What does it mean by very active? Let's have a look. This is a very active dybbuk box. Do not buy if you're not prepared. This may surprise you. Lots of paranormal items out there don't do anything. This box will make up your soul and shake it if created incorrectly. This is not a game. Don't play. This is a dark history, not to be joked or disrespected. The idea of selling it is to rid me of the dark entity that is sealed in the dybbuk box. So you want to sell it because you're surrounded by dark energy and entities? Yeah, look at what you're selling. A lot of them. It's... Well, I think you've got my approach on what I think this is. Any other ones interesting on here? So then there are kind of two things that I see stand out in terms of haunted items. Dybbuk boxes and haunted dolls. How do seemingly inanimate objects with no life, no consciousness, no presence also continue in a form of the afterlife, perhaps to appear as a ghost itself in the present life during the replay, as it were? Let's just think about that, the stagecoach in effect. So a stagecoach, of course, is usually driven by a couple of horses. You have the coachman, then you have the coach itself. Say the coachman has died, or maybe the horses have died. How in the world does the coach then also then appear, during the apparition? Would the apparition not just be the naked coachman, or the horses just running along, or the coachman effectively floating along, like 4 feet in the air in a seated position, making a whipping gesture? Inanimate hauntings are an anomaly in a field of anomalies. Would love to hear your comments, thoughts, suggestions and ideas in the comments below. That'd be wonderful. If you'd like to hear more like this, let me know, and I'll get you sorted. Until then, my name is Kristian, and thank you for taking the time to listen here today.